Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. It's Tuesday morning and I missed that store. Wasn't there a store called Tuesday Morning? I don't know if they're still all open. Ours closed. So it is Tuesday morning, about 9 o'clock, and I am gonna sit down and work in my everyday journal. I've glued a few things in and made some notes, sitting inside on the couch at different times. So there are probably some things in here that weren't in here before. These are little caps to crochet hooks that don't stay on. I got these when I was at Joann's, and they always fall off and end up in my crochet bag or whatever. So I just poked holes in these and put them on here as charms. And I have added a few things. Let's see, beads from Mira. Thank you so much. And some buttons, some washers that I found. Here's one of the big ones that I found. I think that's one. I know I just added one. Yeah, that's it. I am trying to clean this desk off. It is covered in stuff. And to do that, I thought I would just open this book and maybe glue some things in. I've put some beautiful stickers in that Cynthia sent to me in some happy mail. And there's a beautiful little paper doll that Mira made. She sent me that in happy mail. So let's find a place. I want this desk cleaned off today. I am really tired of the mess. Wonder if that will, yes. That can go right up there. And probably have that little punched out hole to stick up above the top, and we could put something in there at some point. I love these trashy everyday journals because it's not an emergency to do anything in any hurry. I'm sure that we'll end up with some little piece of something that will go in there, but it's not important to have to do it right now. And sometimes, just for a little context, I'll write little dates in. 2025. And let's write CBS over here. And you can do the little notes like that in all different colors. That was sent in some happy mail. And let's see, I think I had that label. Cynthia has sent me some really fun labels as well. In fact, she sent this Alice in Wonderland label. So I want to put this in here. There's some feathers from Jay. I think that could go right under there. And this one we're not going to worry about letting it hang over the edge. We're just going to slide this in under the feathers and let it cover up the back of the chocolate label. Here's some fun trim that I would like to use. Is that, I think that was going to be a pocket, and then I guess I stapled something over it, which is fine. Let's go ahead and put a little glue under this. Heavy pieces like this, I sometimes try just using glue, but since that is in an area where it's on top of some paper that it's probably not gonna stick very well. I'm also gonna put a couple of staples. And then let's come back with a piece of masking tape to go over this side of the staples because they do feel pretty sharp. That was a lot to staple through, so they're not wanting to lay down completely. And let's do this. Let's come back with these colors that we had originally used for There Is Enough for Everybody. And do that right on top of the tape. And here is a label from some stickers that I finished up. Some of these went into the fun pack, or the Pen Pal mail. And I think we will put this right up here. And again, we're gonna let this one stand up enough to have that sturdy, and I'm gonna flip it this way because that is showing up over this very pretty brochure that I wanted to keep. I did put a sticker or two here. That's from Cynthia. And that blue is pretty. But I don't know if I want it there. I think it can go there. It's gonna maybe cover up a little bit of stuff, but oh wait, I was looking at the wrong page. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. There's the beautiful fabric you sent to me, Jay. And then let's put this about here. Oops, it's gotta come down because of the little cardinal sticker. Let's pull that back. Got a little bit of glue on there, but it'll dry clear. That's okay, I'm not worried about that. And then we'll come back and put a little bit more glue under the fabric so that we still have our pocket. I love that image. I'm not sure how to even say that name. She was a young Indian, Eagle Clan, and is this Oto Indian? What is now Nebraska. She was only 27. She went on an official trip as a delegation to Washington, D.C. With her husband. I guess it was Indian negotiations. And she contracted measles. And she died, and she probably did get that from being exposed to something that she had no immunity to. It's very sad. This is some pretty fabric. This is just a tiny little piece of it. Oh, we can glue that over that staple down there. Oh, I need to make an additional note on that. I wish I had a video of it. We had so much fun dancing. I'll put that little note in later because I want to put somebody's name in it, and I don't really want to do that in the camera. I'm sure that makes sense to everybody. I love having pockets in journals like this. So if I have a pretty piece of fabric that I want to use, and then here, let me just show you this while we're here. That's a pretty piece of fabric that I just glued paper on the inside of and folded it to make a little private journaling spot. And then that was a large sticker that I thought was really pretty on that. But yeah, going back to this, I go through and try to find a space where I can use the fabric as a pocket. It's nice to have pockets in journals like this. And we glue down so many pieces of packaging and trash, if you will, that everything just blends in. Sometimes a pocket, you can't even tell it's a pocket because there's so much glued in. Let's put that just like that. And then here is another fun piece of fabric that I have been meaning to use for forever. I love donuts. And I know that I should not eat them because of the gluten and the sugar. Life is just so short. I think I'm gonna have a donut every so often. Ooh, that's pretty right there. And maybe we will also glue this one in like a pocket. I think I got some glue kind of high up under there, so we won't put anything in there yet. And sometimes it's fun just to make little notes, little fun notes and arrows and things. And then this is cute. This just fits in with our snail. And I found this at the scrap exchange while I was looking at fabric. So obviously somebody had already painted on this. Well, not obviously, I could have done it, but I found it just like it is. And it's just so cute. Had to go ahead and get this. Maybe we will put this right here. And that said, I would like to add some white color on this page. Usually I don't mind going over to the next page with paint or whatever, but we've got that gorgeous fabric that I do not want to mess up. I love that fabric. It's just really pretty. It's so velvety. And this is kind of like whitewash. It doesn't have to be so thick that it completely covers every square centimeter. I like to get it out at the edges because that's where you see it sticking out from under little things you've put in. And something else that is really fun. Now how can I do this without messing that up? I know we can. So let's come over here. Oh, somebody asked about this paint color. So this is neon pink. It's Craft Smart and it's just neon pink. And I have just fallen in love with the neon pink paint. I've got a journal that's all pink, that's recent, fairly recent, and I hope to be able to show you that soon. And it has a lot of neon pink in it. So in order to do this, let me be sure to protect this. And we will do that right here. I love taking the pages like this and just picking up the color like that. So it's not going to be as dark. Acrylic paint dries really quickly and you can even give it a few minutes. Like if you have thick coats of paint on both sides and you want to do that, Just give it a little time, and then when you press them together, sometimes it pulls away. I don't know, it's such a thickness that it almost ends up like a gel plate transfer or something. It's really fun. I'm gonna dry this a little bit. Okay, what else do we have? The dreaded cookout. And sometimes you just have to have cookout. We're gonna fold this down and staple it. Cookout puts Bible verses on their packaging. This says, "Thank you, God, for America." Proverbs 3, 5, 6. And I think we're just gonna glue this in. And that would make a very tall pocket. I'm wondering if I need to staple the sides together so it doesn't just fan open too much. But I don't know. I don't think we need to, because if we glue that whole back down, it's only gonna, well, it could come open quite a bit, couldn't it? We can always do it, like glue it down later. I'm not gonna worry about that. We're gonna just, but I'm worried about it right now. Not really worried, but I'm thinking, should I staple this? No, I'm gonna leave it like that. Who in the world needs to overthink a trash journal? Nobody, nobody. And especially not me. I mean, you know who and what you're dealing with here. Let's put this under here. That has a verse on the back too. God bless the USA, Galatians 6, chapter 6, verse 10. Put that right under there. All right, this I got to set aside for a project. I just love the crinkle of this. And look, I put this whole bag in. I couldn't sew all the way inside, so there's sort of a pocket here, and it hangs over. These chips were really good. We had never tried these before, so that was a couple of months ago. You can see they expired in July of 2025. And so maybe, just so that we can have this crinkly paper in here, and we're going to use some more of this very fun duct tape. Whoa. It's got some static in it. Well, it's also sliding too. I used this tape to close up all of the Pen Pal envelopes. So let's put that right there. And put another piece on this side. I went a little too low right there. Somebody had asked me something in the comments about where I got the name Birdsong. And Birdsong, I love birds. I absolutely love birds. In my old garden, in the old house, we had so many birds. I'm starting to see more birds here. I think you have to put places for them to feel safe. They need to have places where they can hide, and it's nice to let plants, some plants go to seed, like coneflowers and any plants that have the seed. Sunflowers, you know, I mean, you can harvest them and eat them, but if the birds have some, they're going to visit as well. But I do love birds, and I used to sit on my front porch, especially, I had this, it was so beautiful. I love my current garden, but I really miss my old garden. The house was very old, and it needed some work, but there was a little sidewalk that came down, like you go down some old brick steps. And I used to sit on those steps. And there was a sidewalk that went straight down to the road, and I had a big arbor at the end of that sidewalk with a metal gate. It was a big metal arbor, and on either side of that there were shrubs to make it feel like a little enclosed garden. I had is it the bridal wreath spirea? I had a gold flame spirea. I had 2 enormous boxwoods that were there when we bought the house. And then I had let a poke plant grow because I think they're beautiful. It was just one, and they get enormous. They are very hard to dig out, and they're medicinal. They're also poisonous. You have to be careful. But that plant was huge. I had an enormous ladybanks rose that grew over the arbor. It grew from one side. I had 2 gardenias, one on either side of this sidewalk, that were a little further in. So when you walked in under that arbor, you had a huge boxwood on either side. You had the ladybanks growing that came up over your right, and then this poke plant that kind of grew up the arbor on the left, and then you had a gardenia on each side with all these wonderful blooms, and then there was an enormous rosemary plant. And then I had put mosaic pathways in on either side. So if you came into the garden, you could walk this way and see all sorts of plants, or this way and see all sorts of plants. And then my goldfish pond was in front of the house on this side. And then you could go up steps into the house, but I used to sit there and watch the birds, and the mockingbirds loved that arbor. I think the birds loved having that poke plant there. Poke, I hear both. I think I say pokeberry. That's the first reason. I love birds and birdsong. And the second reason is that birdsong is a family name. So some of my first ancestors who came over were German. The Germans who came over were Vogelsangs, which means birdsong, and they changed it here. A lot of names got changed when people came over. So it's actually a family name that goes way, way, way back. Oh, look, here is one of those little things that we knew we would find to just go in here. And this is one of those little ribbons that they put on the inside of a dress or whatever that you can use to hang it up. And those things drive me crazy because they will stick out at the worst possible time. You go to a wedding wearing a nice dress, and then you look, and in all your pictures that string is sticking out. Not mine, I cut them out, which is why it's sitting here. I know they can be useful, but you know. So these are some little images that Carolyn sent me. This says Sing Loud. She drew these and very sweetly made copies for me. Let's put that right there. Cookout is really close to us, and on nights that we both have stuff going on, like if Jason is rehearsing or teaching, and you know, you do your best to grocery shop and cook, but sometimes it just doesn't get done. And that was one of those times. Carolyn, I like the way you've got the little rose stamped at the bottom of each one. Let's put that there. I'm really trying to go through and clear out this desk. And there's another one. Oh, I think, is Thrifty Day live today? If I get this video published in time, this might be a relevant question. It's Tuesday morning here, and she's on the West Coast, so the time is a little off. I think it's probably going to be around noon here. I need to look. I need to check her channel so that I don't miss it. Her lives are a lot of fun. I suggest checking them out. So many people on there, and I can't believe she actually gets complaints because there's a lot of chit chat and talking. She goes live and she interacts with everybody. I think it's awesome. I love it, but there are people who have complained that she's talking too much. Let's see, I think we were gonna put this on the page we painted white. So let's go back over here. Oh, but we put the cookout back there. So let's go back if we can find where we were. Now this was gonna be a little card going out. I stamped all of the pen pal cards, but this one didn't quite take. And that's okay with me, I still like it, so I thought I would cut her out and put her in here. That goes in the recycle. It's kind of fun there. It looks like she's looking down on that other little lady. I think this stamp, it just looks really ethereal. So sort of otherworldly, like an angel or something. So that can be there. And let's just put this little cookout receipt here. Well, maybe I'll stop because I think I've been on here for a while. Time goes by so fast doing something like this. And I want to get this desk cleaned off and get the workshop in at least a semi-state of order, because I want to start working on some Halloween journals. And I want to get some packs put together. I'm not sure whether I will have midweek packs or just some Friday packs. I've already started on some. And I sent out a lot of orders yesterday. I'll be sending out more today. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back really soon, and bye for now.